Thank
Okay.
you.
So this is the first segment of this particular presentation. So in that we will discuss that how to write the quality research papers there. So the meaning of research papers means the research which you perform on a particular research topic to solve a particular research problem. You will just present in front of, first you just present this in front of reviewers of a particular journal. They review it, and once they find that particular research problem, the research findings are suitable for the research community, they will accept it and then allow your publication to publish in that particular journal. This whole process looks very easy, but it's not like that. As you know very well that there are different types of journals are there, like SCI journals are there, Scopus Index journals are there. The publication difficulty is also different, as their ratings, their quality. So how a particular research scholar start their writing, it's a very very important thing there. Actually I also know that, because once before 10 or 12 years when I start MTech, I don't know that how to start doing or pursuing the things there, how start how to start the writing the research papers, how to read a research paper. Because if you see research papers from some good journals like IEEE Transaction, we also I also publish some papers in that Transactions, or the elsewhere journals who have a good impact factor. If you see first time, you not find anything related to you. So many maths there, different types of methodologies are there, so many graphs, figures are there, and then it's very difficult to start the things there. So the first thing which you required is just understand your area in which you want to start the things there. And once you select that particular area, then start reading the papers there. And then once you read those papers, you find out that okay, this much work will be performed till now. Now I want to start from this particular point. I will modify this, will get improved result, and that will be my work. Like that way a flow will be there. So that will be a starting things, but here we will discuss that once you perform your all the research, then how you start the things there. So we will discuss this. So the first thing which is very very important in your research paper is the title. Title means the whole work, like if it's a PhD thesis, is around 200 to 300 pages are there, and these whole 200 or 300 pages you are just representing in a single line, one line or two lines, maybe in 20 words or 15 words. So it's very critical to select a title, because the title is the first impression in front of a reviewer. They'll see that okay, this particular research problem you select, and with this particular method you'll just want to solve this. Like I just give you an example of one title, that improvement of a power quality of a distribution network using statecom. So in this particular topic, in this particular title, the problem is what here? The problem is power quality. And what you utilize to solve this particular problem? You utilize a technique or a particular method, the statecom, to improve this particular power quality issue. So a title itself able to provide the information, the work which you perform in that particular paper or in particular thesis. That is a very very important thing there. And your title should be very much specific, it should not be very much general. General means you are utilizing some generalized word, improvement of a power quality issues. This is a general word. I don't understand that how you improve that, because this is a general statement there. So you will be very very specific about the method which you utilize to improve that particular problem there. So the title is a very very important thing there. It has a great impact on the particular paper. So the title of research paper create impact on the selection of a paper to study by the readers. because you see on the internet there are thousands of journals are there, and each journals are publishing more than 100 200 papers every year. Then how you find out a paper which is most suitable for you? You don't have a time to read each and every paper. It's correct or not? And each and every paper is also not available for you. So the best thing is what? Just see the title. If the title looks similar to your research area, you simply download that paper, review that paper, and use in your work. So the title is a very important thing in your particular research paper is there. So the next thing is what? It should be precise. Precise means here it should not be so much lengthy. If you are utilizing some techniques, you should be able to define those all the techniques in less to less words there inside the particular title. You should not discuss each and everything in the title there. Problem which you solve, the technique by which you solve this particular problem. These two things are more than enough to define a title of a particular paper is there. So it should be, nowadays there are so many websites is also there. You can type your title on Google and just ask them how to modify that, how to make your title more attractive there, because that is a very important thing there. So first thing is what here? The title. Main focus put on the title, the problem which you select, and the technique which you utilize. Both the things you should be utilized inside them. One more thing is here. So many people or so many researchers, old researchers, they are not preferring the abbreviations inside the titles. Abbreviation means the short form of a particular method. Like there is a method of online optimization is there, so you can make a short form of this ALO. But it's better if your title has a chance to use full form of this particular method. Try to incorporate the full forms of these methods to make the particular title more clear there. Okay, it's not a rule, but it is preferable that you use the particular full forms of a methods or techniques which you are utilizing to solve a particular problem there. Now how you select that? What is the basis for selecting a title there? So first thing is what? The significance of a particular title. Just write 4 5 6 titles which is related to your particular work, and just read them again and again, and just relate with your work, and find out which title is most appropriate with the work which you perform. Okay, that is a very important thing there. People are doing what? They simply feel that this title is most suitable and just put and submit the paper. No, when you are starting to write a paper, just write down 4 5 6 titles, read them, try to relate with your work which you perform, and then select a one most appropriate title which is related to your work there. Okay, second thing is what? Just think as per the referee or reviewer's point of view also. Means if you submit this particular paper in a journal, how a particular reviewer will react to this particular title. That is also one important thing there, because ultimately the paper is reviewed by whom? The reviewer only. So you also think about a particular reviewer point of view also. This will help you to accept your paper there. As I told you, select the best title which is reflecting the work. Just write down 4 5 6 titles there, and out of these titles you just select the best one which is more suitable to you. Suitable words, that is also very important thing is there. Suitable words means what here? Like your title should be able to show some improvement which is performed by your study, like improvement of a power quality, enhancement, like that. Some suitable words should be there which shows that your work is more better as compared to other existing word. That is an important thing there. So suitable words are the important things which you should incorporate inside your title there. Now what is the importance of this particular title? So that is the first thing which is read by any reviewer or any reader. So you should pay attention while selecting a particular title of a research paper. The title should be like that it attracts the readers, because the journals prefer those papers whose titles are attractive, because if the title is attractive, definitely more readers will read that particular paper. Once reader will read, definitely so many researchers decide that paper, so citation will increase, the h index of that particular journals will also increase, and that's the thing a particular journal will want. Clear or not? That's why they want the catchy or attractive titles, which just read by a particular reader and just refer in their work there. So that is an important thing there. Pay attention on each and every word which you are utilizing inside the title. That is also important thing there. No need to incorporate any word which is not related to your particular work or increase the length of a particular title. Just keep this thing in your mind. Okay. Now second thing is the introduction. You people think that abstract, why you not discuss the abstract? Abstract will discuss at the last only. We see that in the paper that abstract come first, but in a natural practice or in a practical way, when you are writing a research paper, always the abstract is written at last only. At the last only we are writing the abstract. That's why in my presentation also I will discuss that at the last only. So the second thing which required to write a research paper is the introduction. Introduction is a very critical thing here. If you see, a proper research flow should be there in a particular introduction. Like, what will be the first thing which should be there inside the introduction? The first thing is the background of that particular problem which you select for your research. That will be the first thing which should be available inside this introduction. So the background of a research problem will be the first thing. Then some research papers which related to your particular problem you discuss in the introduction section. There is different view over the introduction section. Some people incorporate the literature review part or related work part also inside the introduction. Some people they provide a separate section for a literature review. So there is there is no issue. That is up to on you what you want. Or sometimes it also depends on the general policy or general guideline, that where they want the related work or literature review section, whether they want the separate section or inside the introduction section. But generally it's better that in introduction section you just start with the background, then discuss 4 5 some old papers which also perform this particular research problem, and then provide some issues of this particular problem, that what will be the outcomes of this particular problem, what will happen if this particular problem will continue. So these things you will discuss, and then a separate subsection you should provide which is related to the literature review and related work, like that. So the introduction section should describe what there, then background, some related papers which is your research papers which you can refer in your work, and then you can write the introduction section there. Now how to start this? So the first thing is what? Just understand your research problem in a well manner. Okay, whatever the research problem you select, you should be very good to describe that. Then only you are able to write the background of that particular research problem there. Okay, so that is will be the first thing there. Then the second thing is what? Again, write that thing from the point of view of a reviewer, that if I write this particular sentence, how a particular reviewer will react on that particular part. So that thing will be also be there. One more thing will be here, and that is the tense. There are three different tenses are there, then their subdivisions is also there: past, present, future. So here The important thing is what? You should utilize a proper tense. Like most of the work which you are representing here is in the past, which you already performed there. So the suitable tense you utilize to write them. Then understand the design which you already perform. Okay, because you should write some one para related to your work which you perform, and that will be based on what? That will be based on the review of a different papers that I will discuss in the next part, that particular topic, that how to write this. So one para which is related to the work which you performed in your paper. Here also utilize very suitable or selective words which refer to your particular work, as well as minimize the length of a particular paper there. Importance, definitely introduction section is a very important thing here. Why it's a very important thing here? Because it will increase the interest of a particular reader or a reviewer to read your full paper. By reading the introduction section, a particular reviewer will understand that what are the different things you can present or you are planning to present inside the paper there. So your introduction will be very critical point in your research paper. It should be very good, attractive, selective words should be there which represent the things there. Okay, so that what will happen, the introduction will be good, and the reviewer take interest to review whole paper. Because the thing is what, if reviewer is not able to review your paper in a proper manner, means if he don't find any interest in your paper, then what he will do, he will see some important point, and then it's very difficult to make accept this paper in that particular journal. The problem is what? Because you write a paper, you know each and everything, you invest your 1 year 6 months on that particular work, but the reviewer don't have this much time. They provide normally the journals, they provide maximum 1 month for reviewers to review that papers, and they have so many other works also. These reviewers, renowned reviewers, I also review so many papers in a year. So I also know that if the introduction section is very attractive, it increase the chances of acceptance. Because with the help of introduction, I come to know that okay, these are the things is available inside that, these are the research gaps which will be available, and your paper just fill these research gap with the help of this particular technique. Simple. These three information are more than enough. And if your work is clearly address these three things, research gaps, the method which you utilize to fill these research gaps, and your contribution, then definitely the paper will be accepted. Okay, so that's why the introduction section is a very important thing there. Now the literature review, or sometimes we also mention it in the related work column. We can utilize this, or we can add this inside the introduction section also. So that is also very important, because that will provide you the base for your paper. When you are writing a literature review, we required at least, if it's a good journal, at least 10 to 15 recent research papers are required to review. Now, why I use the word recent here? Because people are doing what? So many times they utilize so many old papers, and then they will compare it also with old papers, and then say that our technique is suitable for them. Then it's very difficult to accept the paper. Always remember that the literature review should utilize recent papers, and these recent papers should be, like we are in 2022, so the recent paper should be within 3 years, not beyond that. 2022, 2021 and 20, these 3 years papers you should utilize to write the literature review section. Now how to write this section, that is also one thing. Three things will be there for each and every paper. Like you are reviewing some papers there, so for each paper, while you are reviewing, three things you should mention. What are these three things? First, what problem they solve. Second, by which methodology they solve, or by which method they solve. Third, what are the gaps which that particular paper is still not filled. Okay, these three information must be there inside the literature review for each and every paper. If you are reviewing 15 papers, for 15 papers you have these three information. Okay, the problem which they address, the method by which they solve. Third, the issues which they still not discussed or not addressed. Now, why I'm focusing on that particular part, that the issues which they not focused or not addressed, because then only you can say that my particular work address those issues in this particular paper by this particular technique, and that will show the contribution. Okay, that will show the contribution there. So it is a very very important thing. If the literature review is very critical, good, then definitely the reviewer will understand the work in a well manner. Okay, so while you are writing the literature review, focus on the recent. The important things are what here? Focus on the recent papers, critically review them, just provide the techniques which they utilize, the things which they still not address. These two things should be mentioned there. And there are different ways by which you can write them nowadays. So many researchers, they are utilizing the tabular form also. For writing the literature review, you can utilize the tabular form, and that will be more suitable. In that, you just select 10 papers which is more suitable for your work. Just write down the method which they utilize, the advantage of their method, why they utilize that, and then the disadvantages or the gaps which is still not filled by this particular method. So these are the things by which you can write the literature review. One more thing is here, while you are writing the literature review, you can write in a chronological manner also. Now, what is the meaning of chronological manner here? Means if you are utilizing last 3 years papers, so the first paper which you are going to review in your research paper, that paper should be from 2020. Then next paper will be June 2020, then July, then August, then January 2021. That should be there. Why I'm mentioning by this? If you are utilizing this chronological order, the reviewer have a clear picture that till now, till July 2022, these researchers are utilized this technique to solve this particular problem, but still that particular research gap is there, which is solved by your particular method. That's all. Each and everything is clear in front of a reviewer. And definitely if the things are clear in front of the reviewer, why they will reject your paper? Okay, so these small points are very very important while you are writing the literature review there. So these are the things which you can utilize while you are writing the literature review. Okay, so critical literature review is required for the particular manuscript. Whatever the research problem you are selecting, the literature review should be based on that. Think about from the point of view of a particular reviewer, how to properly refer the work of other researchers. Okay, so whatever the papers you are utilizing in your paper, properly refer them, review them. Okay, if you are taking something from other papers and then modifying it, then proper reference will be provided there. Okay, whether you are discussing them in the reference literature review section or not, you should provide them a proper reference there. Here also use the correct tense to define different literature review there. Reduce redundancy. Redundancy means I saw so many times when I'm going to review some papers there, people just write so many things about that particular paper. If they are utilizing 10 papers, for each paper they are providing 6, 7, 8 lines. That is not a correct way to write a literature review. Always remember, literature review provide only 2 to 3, maximum 3 lines for a single paper. If you are utilizing 15 research papers inside your literature review, 15 multiplied by 3, 45 lines will be there. Understand? Not more than this. Around 40 or 45 lines will be there. Okay? So for a single paper, we required only 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 lines only, not more than this. It is very, very important thing there. So important, definitely it's a very, very important thing. Literature review section is a very important part. Why it's a very important there? Because if there is proper literature review is there, the particular reviewer or the particular readers, they have a clear picture that till now this much work will be done with the help of this particular technique. So my work will be start from this particular point, and that is the very, very important thing inside the research paper. Now the research methodology, this is the most simple part in the research paper. Why this is the most simple part? Because a researcher know very well that which technique they utilize for solving this particular problem. They know each and everything regarding this particular methodology there. That's why so many times the senior professors, they are preferring that always start to write your paper from the research methodology or methodology section, because you know very well that what method you utilize to solve this particular method, what are the different steps to solve this particular problem, how you implement this particular method. These are all the things we discuss here. These all the things we discuss inside the research methodology. So this will be the part from which a new researcher can start to write their papers. Okay, if you feel any problem to write a research paper, just start writing the research methodology. Just find out different steps which you utilize to solve your research problem. Then, like data collection, data analysis, after collecting the data, which method you utilize to solve this. Then you utilize the problem formulation, correct, optimization problem, then which technique you utilize to solve this particular problem, then what are the different steps of pseudocode for this particular technique there. These all the things we will discuss where we will discuss inside the research methodology section. Okay, so whenever you feel that no, I want to write a paper, just start writing the research methodology or methodology section, and then other section will automatically will generate in your mind, and then you write them. So just start writing the methodology, the method, the different steps which you utilize to solve this particular method. Just write down in terms of the particular reviewer's point of view manner. Correct tense also required, because here also methodology means you already perform the work. So past tense you should utilize. Simple past you can utilize to so or write the particular methodology section here. Chronological order. Chronological order means what? The meaning of chronological order here is that the first step which you require to solve that problem. So the first step normally is what? Data collection. You should not change the order, like you are putting the data collection at last only or at the middle. That will be the wrong thing. So the first thing which you require is what? If you want to solve any problem, you require data. So the first step will be what? Data. After that, data analysis. Clear? Then the technique which you required to solve the problem with this data. So like that way, some steps will be there in chronological order there. There will be a one more better way. You can write your research methodology section in some flow charts. People utilize some flow charts to represent their methodology in their research paper. So you can utilize them. That is totally up to on you, whether you want to write in a theoretical manner or you can write on the graphical manner. But if you write in a graphical manner, it's more visible for a particular reviewer that okay, these are the steps which a person is utilized to solve this particular problem. So just to use that particular representation which is more clear and attractive to the reviewer there. Importance, definitely that will be the critical part of your research paper, because if you utilize or modify some method, you should be very clear about that particular improvement, where you make the improvement. You should highlight that point, that this is the existing method, but in my research I have modified that particular methodology by this means. Okay, like if there is a particle swarm optimization method is there, PSO, and you are going to modify this PSO with some other technique, or you are just making it hybrid method. So in methodology section, you will clearly mention the improvement section where you make the improvement in this particular PSO method, and that will be the contribution which a reviewer want. They want that where is the point which shows your contribution. So in methodology you should show them. Okay, so that's why it's a very important part inside the system there, or inside this particular paper. After methodology, the next section will be the result and discussion, and that will be the backbone for your research paper. I saw so many times people done huge work in research paper, because when you are reading the paper you can understand that particular person did the work or not. You can understand that easily. I saw so many times that people really formulate the problem very nice. They write the introduction section very well. Critical literature review is also available there. But the problem comes where? In the representation of results. They are simply randomly put the results, or they are not properly arranging the x-axis or y-axis, or they are simply putting very long tables in the result section. These all the things make or reduce the quality of your research paper. Results should be like that: concise, precise, clear, and self explaining. The word here, self explaining, is a very important. Means if I saw any paper and if the figure is self explaining, i I don't require the text which you mentioned in the paper. You understand my point or not? Self explaining is a very important term here. So while you are representing your results, your all the data which you are putting in the result and discussion section should be self explaining. It should be clear. If reviewer see it, easily he understand that okay, these are the particular results which you are you getting by this particular method. This much of improvement will be there, 10%, 20%, or 5% improvement will be there, and this will be the advancement as compared to other technique. Clear? So self explanation of the results are very important thing here. One more thing is here, and that is type of results. There are two different types: positive and negative. Now what you understand by the positive here? Positive means definitely your work which you perform is better as compared to other research. So 10% improvement will be there, 20% improvement will be there, or 30% improvement will be there. So those are called what? Those are called the positive results there. There are different results is also there, and those are called negative results or null results. Now negative means what? Or null result means what? You compute, you utilize some method, but the results are not better than the existing methods, or poor than the existing method. Then will you represent them, or will you incorporate them in the research papers? Previously people or researchers are not utilizing them, but now so many journals, they also provide the facility to publish your null results also, or negative results also, because that is also one type of research. That if you utilize this particular method, or if you utilize or improve that particular method in this manner, the results which you are getting is not positive or not improved, so you should not utilize them in future. Clear? So those are called what? Those are called the negative or null results. So for the new researchers, those are listening me, just don't worry about the results. If you are getting sometimes null results or negative results, try to write a research papers and clearly mention in your result section and result and discussion section that I have modified this particular method or I have utilized this particular method, but the results which you are getting is not up to the mark or not better than the existing results. Like that way you can mention and you can also submit the results. This is the one thing here. Second thing here, critical discussion. Now what you understand by the critical discussion here? Critical discussion means here in results, that is the duty of a researcher, that while you are putting a results, you should critically discuss them. Means whatever the things are there inside a particular figure or table, you should discuss them also in a clear manner in the text also. And that is called what? That is called the critical discussions of the result. I saw so many papers, their results are very good, but what they do, they put 20 figures without explanation. I told you that all the figures should be self-explaining, but the meaning is not that you not discuss them. Clear? Because that will support the readers there. So critical discussion is a point which is very, very important there. You should be able to discuss all the figures and tables which you utilize inside the result and discussion section. Okay, so that will be the second thing which is required in the result and discussion section. Third thing which is very, very important is what? Comparison. And that comparison must be there in each and every manuscript. Okay, because how you define that particular paper is better than, or particular technique is better than the other, the decision will be made on the comparative analysis only. So a detailed critical comparative analysis a necessity of a research manuscript. Okay, if there is no comparison, the chances of acceptance of a paper will be very, very low. Okay, and if you are utilizing, like you are utilizing any new technique of optimization, at least you should utilize 4 to 5 different techniques for comparison. Okay, and out of these 4 to 5 techniques, 1 or 2 technique will be very old, and remaining 2 to 3 techniques should be the recent one. Why I'm telling you in that manner? Then you can mention in your manuscript that my developed technique is better than the existing old techniques also, as well as the new recent techniques also. Clear? That's why at least 4 to 5 techniques you should utilize to compare them, critically compare them, show them that how much percentage improvement is available in that particular system. One more thing you can keep in your mind when you are writing the result section, the quality of figures. Okay, quality of figures is also a one major concern whenever you are just save your results or figures from MATLAB or ETAB or any other software. Properly save them in high quality manner. Okay, high quality manner, that is a very, very important thing is there. It will increase the quality of your research paper. So these are the different steps you can utilize. The significance, the writing of a result and discussion from the point of view of a referee or reviewer. Utilize correct tense, because already you perform the results, you perform the task, so utilize the past tense there. Show the importance of findings, that how your findings is very, very helpful for the future researchers. That will be the critical things there. So critical analysis is there. Use suitable words to increase the effectiveness of your research there. Definitely the result section, result and discussion section is a very, very important part of any manuscript, because it shows the improvement of your research paper. So that will be a very, very important things there. Now The next thing which is required is the conclusion. Now, conclusion in some journals, which may be sometimes related to the informatics, they not ask the conclusion there, but most of the journals they require the conclusion there. And as the name indicate, the conclusion means you are summarizing the things which you already performed above. This is the meaning of conclusion there. And one more thing which is very very important while you are writing a conclusion, and that is what, there should not any duplication of sentences from introduction and abstract. The meaning is what, whatever thing you are writing in your conclusion, it should not be similar to your introduction or abstract part. Clear? So try in that also you can write in a better way, and try to write in a quantitative manner. Quantitative manner is what here? Quantitative manner means, like in abstract we are not providing so many numbers there that we got this, we got this. We simply discuss some theoretical part in the abstract, that what problem, which method we utilize, and we got the improvement from the existing method. These three things we discuss in the abstract. In abstract, in conclusion, you can write different things also in quantitative manner. Quantitative manner means number. Whatever the results and discussions you are performed, just take 4, 5, 6 lines of important results from the result section and just discuss them inside the conclusion. Then first line will be that the problem which you select and the method which you utilize. These two things will be there. The system which you utilize, you can also discuss there. And then simply bring the results which you discuss or you got inside your research there. These three things will be there inside your conclusion. One more important thing is there inside conclusion, and that is called the future direction. Future direction means what here? Future direction means what are the different issues which your paper still not address. Okay, those things you mentioned in the future direction inside the conclusion section. And the similar thing you can find out while you are writing a literature review. I told you that in literature review also you find research gap. And how you find the research gap? Because it's very difficult to read each and every paper in detail. So I just tell you a shortcut, that how you can write a good literature review. The shortcut, it's not a shortcut, it is actually a way by which you can find actual overview of that particular paper. So if you want to write a good or critical literature review, focus on three things in any research paper. What are these three things? The first is abstract, second is introduction, and third is conclusion. Focus on these three parts. Okay, and if you go through abstract, definitely you come to know that what problem and what method they utilize. These two things you come to know with the help of abstract there. With the help of introduction, you come to know that till now at what level the work is performed and what techniques is already utilized by different researcher. These two information you will get from this particular introduction section. And at last, if you just focus on the conclusion part, you come to know that what are the research gaps still not addressed by this particular paper, because the future direction which mentioned by each and every paper basically is related to the gaps which is still not addressed by a particular researcher there. So if you write a good critical literature review, focus on abstract, introduction and conclusion part, at least you will get the 70 to 80% things which you can write. With the help of this you can write a good and critical literature review there. Okay, so this is the conclusion there. So here also just understand the significance of conclusion here. Know the concern of a different referees and the content of structure in conclusion. Use correct tenses. Make conclusion different from the abstract. Okay, this is an important thing, because so many times we provide the comments that so many times people just copy paste the abstract in the conclusion, and that is not a correct thing there. Okay, so the conclusion and the abstract are both are different things there. Use suitable things for the effectiveness of a particular conclusion there. Definitely it's important, because it will just provide you the summary of whole of your research, because abstract is not able to provide that, but this conclusion will provide in a quantitative manner, and it also provides the future direction there. So that's why the conclusion is a very very important thing there. So just focus on what the problem which you select, the method which you utilize, then 5 to 6 important results, quantitative results you should discuss inside the conclusion, and then the future directions for this particular problem there. These 4 things together will provide you a nice conclusion section there. Now, as I told you, in a research paper, abstract is at first place, but generally when you are able to write whole of your paper, you already performed and finish your whole paper, at last only you write the abstract, because in abstract each and every word should be critical and selective only. It should not make any redundancy in terms of words. You should not use any word which is not related to your work there, and this will come only after when you finish your whole paper there. So that's why abstract we write at last only. It will provide generally in abstract standard form. Nowadays there are different forms of writing standard. Abstract is also there. In abstract also now they are making 3 different sections: the problem, the methodology, and then the conclusion. Like that, with 3 different section also they are mentioning in the abstract section also. If you don't want to write in that manner, there is no issue, you can write a single para abstract also. So the first thing which you write inside that is what? 2 lines related to your selected problem. Whatever the research problem you select, 2 lines of first 2 lines will be related to that particular research problem. After that, the method which you utilize to solve this particular research problem. Okay, so 2 to 3 lines related to that particular method which you utilize to solve this particular research problem, and then remaining part will be the method, the results which you got from this particular utilized method. And by comparing with other methods, you can mention that by comparing with other techniques, the proposed method is superior by what amount. These 3 things only available in any abstract. If you keep these 3 things simple in your mind, you can write abstract in a well manner way. Okay, so the first is what? 2 to 3 lines related to the selected problem. 2 to 3 lines after that related to the method which you utilize. You can write 1 line related to the system. If you utilize any system, specific system, you can write 1 line from them, and then the results which you utilize and how your results will be superior than the existing method. These 3 things will be there, and it will be provide you the abstract. Generally abstract will be between 200 to 300 words. Okay, the most suitable range of abstract is 200 to 300 words will be there. So you can find that the basic design of study, major findings, brief summary of your conclusions. So like that way you can write the abstract here. This is a different steps by which you can utilize or write the abstract section here. Okay, word selection is very very important. While you are writing the abstract, the word selection is a very very important thing there. So kindly focus on that part. The selection of different words inside the abstract will be there. Definitely abstract will be a most important thing after the title, because if you see so many research journal website, 2 things always visible there, whether the journal is open access or subscription based. 2 things always available. The first thing is title, second thing the abstract of this particular journal. Okay, so your abstract is always visible to all the readers, always, whether the full paper is not accessible to them. So keep thing in your mind, whatever word you are utilizing in abstract is always visible to all the readers, and based on this abstract only, people will refer your work. So if you want to refer your work more and more, your abstract should be very much attractive in their nature, so that pupil will download your full paper, read your full paper, and refer in your work there. Okay, so that is the importance of a particular abstract section there. Now these all are related to the research paper, that how to write the research paper and all that. But nowadays there is one more very critical issue is also there, and that is related to the plagiarism. Generally plagiarism, a simple meaning which a common researcher they come to know is just copy things from other published work in your paper, copy and paste. That is also correct way. But plagiarism is not limited only in that manner. Plagiarism is also if you are utilizing somebody method as it is without properly cite them in their reference. Clear? That is also plagiarism. Like if you are utilizing some equations which are already formed by some other researcher and you directly utilize for the modeling of your work, and without providing a proper reference citation to those who already developed these equations, that is comes also under the plagiarism. So be attentive when you are writing a research paper. Okay, whenever you are writing a research paper and you are utilizing some data, some material, some text, equations from other published work, you should be very much clear that whether I am making in a proper manner or not. Because if you are not able to make it in proper manner, the plagiarism will come and your paper will automatically reject. Automatically. Even though they will not send for review also. Okay, so that is a very, very important thing here. Generally, if you are writing a paper, you not take 5 consecutive words from other papers or other published work. Okay, 4 to 5 words is sufficient, but if you are taking 6 number of words, that comes under the plagiarism. So the thing is what, how you write or start your things. So the best way is what there, just first write down your ideas, rough ideas in a draft manner. Okay, just read, like generally the MTech scholar or the PhD scholar, they read so many research papers. So definitely you in your mind there is a already a idea is there, you already perform that work. So just write down all those ideas in draft manner in the paper initially. No need to copy paste from any other published work, because you are the one who write or you perform this particular work there. So just write down all the ideas and then start the things. One more thing you should keep in your mind, like so many researchers they know that if you publish one paper, then the same material you can utilize in a second. That is also comes under the self plagiarism, and that is also not allowed. Okay, because maybe the publisher is different, or if the same publisher is also there, then also they not allowed you to use the published work there. Clear? So the thing is what here, whatever the paper you are writing, it should be free from plagiarism. Okay, that is a very, very critical issues nowadays, because there are all the journals, generally all the journals have a plagiarism softwares. University also have plagiarism software like Authenticate, Turnitin. Okay, these two are the most famous plagiarism checkers are there. You can find that how much percent similarity will be there. And definitely, if you are submitting your papers initially, less than 10% similarly is the safe side. Okay, less than 10%. Okay, so the similarity should be less than 10%, and less than or equal to 1% from a single source, because there are so many papers are there by which these plagiarism checker provide the similarity. So Overall similarity will be 10% or less, and from a single source it should be 1% or less only. Then you will be on safe side. If it is more than this, definitely you will be in danger. So try to do in that particular manner. Okay, try to write things from your side only, okay, from your point of view. And if you are utilizing different equations, refer them clearly. And if it's not required to write all the equation which is already published, just refer them only. No need to type in your paper. Why you are just reducing the quality of your paper? Because those equations is already published by some other person. And if you are utilizing also for the modeling of your system, then simply refer them that the particular, no need to again discuss them in your paper there. Okay, the advantage is what here, the advantage is it will improve the quality of your work. But if you improve any equation or if you improve the method, then you definitely describe them inside your text. Okay, so these are the things which you should keep in your mind when you are writing a paper. Avoid plagiarism, it's a very very important thing. Okay, because there is a one website online is there, retraction, you can search. Okay, retraction watch. Retraction watch is doing what? Actually it is a online website, it's free website, it is not under any publishers or any journals. They just watch that those authors, those are publishing the plagiarized text. They each and every year they are providing the list of those authors and then they blacklist them. Okay, retraction, there is a word which we utilize so many times in publication. Retraction means they retract you to publish further research there. Okay, so now it's very difficult. Those who think no we can take and copy paste, no, now it's very difficult to take materials of somebody and use in your work. Be sure that it is yours, then only you try to publish. Otherwise it's very very difficult. And that's why I'm telling you, always try to publish papers in good journals. Why? Because they have a proper setup, they have a proper plagiarism checker. Because if you go for some low standard or such journals which don't have a indexing, proper indexing like SCI indexing or impact factor or Scopus indexing, at least these two indexing should be there. If they don't have these indexing, they are not maintaining the quality, even though sometimes they not check the plagiarism also and they publish your paper. If they publish the paper, their work over. Nobody will ask them why you publish this paper, but you will be in danger. Why you will be in danger? Because once the paper is published, it will be available online. And maybe if you take or copy paste the material from some other person's work, definitely he will be seeing somewhere that, oh, you utilize my work directly without my permission, as it is. So definitely he will claim and you will be in big problem. Clear? So keep this thing in your mind. So try to escape from the rejection. Try to just utilize such things that the paper should be accepted as much as possible. So for this purpose, use these all the points which I discussed with you. If you keep these all the points in your mind, the paper definitely will be accepted there. Okay, so this is a book actually we already published. It's a very small books are there, around 100 pages or 120 pages are there. This book is also available on Amazon, and people utilize them. By this you can find out so many examples also, that how to select proper title, how to select different things. So if anybody wants to refer, you can use that. Okay, so this is all from the how to write a quality papers. There is one more small presentation is there, which I just want to show that how you can select your research problem. So I just take an example of one of the one dominant research problem inside the power system, and that is the renewable energy integration inside the power system. Okay, so we are utilizing one technique that is called the microgrid. Actually, microgrid is what? Microgrid, as the name indicates, it's a small grid in which generations are there, distributions are there, and some loads is also there. Okay, they also generate the electricity and then they are supplying to the load there. Why I am discussing this problem here, just I want to show you that how you select your research problem initially. If you start your research, whether it's MTech or PhD, I just show you that how you can define your research problem. So I'm just showing you one optimization problem here. The name of this optimization problem is microgrid optimization. Okay, in any optimization problem, always remember there are three different things are there. What are the three different things? The first is called the objective function. Okay, the first is called the objective function. As the name indicate, objective. Objective means your aim, what you want to perform, your objective. So your aim you will be right in your problem, and that is called what? Objective function. Like your aim will be saving. So definitely if it's saving means you want to increase the saving. So the problem will be what? Maximization of a saving. If losses are there, you want to minimize. So minimization of a losses. Clear? So the objectives is always maximizing or minimizing. Depends on your objective. Clear? So one thing is very, very important here is what? Objective. Second thing which is available there, it is called constraints. Constraints means the limiting condition. Like in our power system, we are just want to supply the electricity. So due to conductor type of conductors, there will be a different types of losses are there. We want to minimize the losses to zero, but it's not possible because due to the material which you utilize inside the conductor, always there is some losses. So we minimize the losses, but at which level? At certain limit. And this limit is called what? Constraints, limiting condition. So in optimization problem, first thing which we required is what? First thing which required is objective function. Another thing which is required is what? Constraint condition. And third thing which is important one is solution technique, which you are utilizing to solve this particular problem. There are three broad classifications are there for techniques. The first is mathematical techniques, second is heuristic, meta heuristic techniques, and third one which is now in trend, and that is artificial intelligence techniques. AI techniques will be there. You can utilize any of the technique and solve your problem. Now why I discuss this point here, I just want to tell you here that different fields, in the different fields of research, people are utilizing optimization problem because it's easy to show your contribution in the optimization problem. Now how it's easy to show your contribution? It's easy because you can make modification at three different levels inside the optimization problem. The first level where you can make the modification is at objective level, objective function level. Whatever the existing objective function is there in published research, try to modify that objective function and use same constraints, same method. Then also your whole method or your whole paper will be or research will be modified. Second, leave existing function, objective function as it is, existing objective function as it is, leave the solution technique as it is, just modify or use more constraint condition, more limiting condition. Then also the whole research will be modified. Third, which is the most simplest one, and so many people they are utilizing that one, and that is what? They use the same already published objective function, they use same constant which already published, but they do what? They utilize new advanced optimization techniques, recent optimization techniques whose performance is better than the existing one. They compute the problem with them and they got the better results. They compare with the existing one and then they show that the work which they utilize, they perform is better than the existing. You understand my point or not? So that is our important thing. If anybody who is a new researcher or is starting his work, try to focus on the optimization part because it's easy. It's easy to formulate them in the mathematical form. It's easy to utilize the new technique then. Okay, so like that way, This is the whole presentation, which I think helpful for the guys those are performing the research and going to be present the research. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Dear participants, if you have any questions, you may please unmute yourself and ask directly, interact with him. And those who are facing the problem, they may put their questions in the chat box as well. If there are no any questions, we will conclude the session then. Baseem Khan, sir.
Yes, sir.
Shall we conclude the session then, sir? It seems there are no any
Sure, sure, sir.
questions.
Sure.
Thank
Sure,
you,
sir.
sir. So, on behalf of Postgraduate Institute Mahatma Phule Krishi Deputy Rauri, I am very much thankful to Dr. Baseem Khan, sir, for guiding our students and faculty members on a very important aspects in today's research life, that is writing quality research papers. Sir, we are very grateful to you and indebted to you for giving your precious time and your expertise to guide us on how to write quality research papers, starting with the how to select the title, how to reframe it, how to improve on it, and how to write introductions, research methods, what shall go into results and discussions and conclusions, and how shall we write our abstracts as well. And you not just told us theoretically how to do that, you also demonstrated through your own research work how better we can formulate our research papers so that our research becomes interesting to the other research community, as well as it solves a real life problem. Sir, thank you very much for your guidance. It seems there is one question on chat box. Yes, it is not for you, it is for us. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So some of you are asking, do we have afternoon session? So no, this was the last session of our training program. So in afternoon there is no any session. Basically, in afternoon we have planned valedictory function, but let's see if our authorities become available. University authorities are busy with other important meetings. Actually, we are organizing our foundation day program, and for that purpose they are busy in the preparation of that program. So meetings are in progress from 9 a.m. itself. So it seems to be difficult to organize our concluding session in the today afternoon, but we will let you know how the things get modified. We will let you know. And one topic, one session that we have not covered is that how to write introductions and results and conclusions, as well as how to write our resume. That 2-hour session is there. So we will let you know at the after 2 to 3 days, because that expert is having a health issue, but she is committed to us that he will take that session. So once his health improves, we will arrange that session. Okay, so we are extremely sorry for that. So can we get the certificates? Yes, those who, as in the beginning itself, we had told the participants that those who are regular attendees having their oral attendance above 75%, that our Zoom platform itself automatically records our attendance, and on the basis of that records, those who are having more than 75% attendance, and those who will pass our the post training exam, they will definitely get the certificate. Okay, so if there are no any questions, then we will stop here. So Basim Khan sir, once again we are very much thankful to you, sir. I think Khan sir has left because he already had told he is so much busy person, but still he has given us his precious time. So thank you one and all. We will end our meeting here. Thank you.